everyone has insurance, or you ought to have insurance, especially if you have a car or are alive. You ought to have insurance. But do you know how insurance companies work? Do you know how to invest in insurance companies? This is what we're going to try and cover today. So starting at the most basic unit of matter, as one would say in chemistry, what do insurance companies do, Jordan?
So, the best way I've ever heard insurance companies explained is you can think of them like a group savings account where the money that you can take out isn't based on how much you put in, but how much you need because you've been unlucky in one way or another.
That
So,
is that is a really good explanation,
yeah,
actually.
I borrowed that from a book and we'll talk about that later. But the way to think about it is money is pulled together from a bunch of people who all have risks of one type or another, health or life or, car insurance. So as people need it for calamities, they can send a claim into their insurer and the insurer will write them a check for it to cover their losses.
Right. And as you kind of covered while you were talking, there's all different types of insurance, right? There's life insurance, which I think people know about, right? You die, you kick the bucket, and the company pays out and it helps cover funeral expenses or end of life expenses or whatever it is, provide a little bit of a living for whatever survivors you leave behind. There's health insurance, which I think everyone is familiar with in the United States of America anyway. Auto insurance, which you should definitely have if you drive a car. There's all sorts of things, but I think what a lot of people don't realize is that there's a lot of different other types of insurance companies that the average person isn't really going to deal with, and the one that springs to mind immediately is reinsurers.
Right. Reinsurers are a special kind of category because they actually insure insurance companies. So when an insurance company doesn't want to take on the full loss of the premiums that they've written, they can pass it on to a reinsurer and mitigate some of their losses should, say, an extreme event occur, a big loss like a catastrophe or a hurricane, something like that sort.
Absolutely.